This is the one we've all been waiting for, guys. It is time to find out which players have the highest potential in FIFA 23. Now, of course, we do need to say potential is only for the first season. There is, of course, dynamic potential. Players get better or worse depending on how well they play, their morale, all sorts of things. But from the start of your career mode, which players are going to be the very top, the world-class potential to be special players? Let's have a look at the first few names on the list. And I've got to say, I've been through them. There are a couple that, I'm a bit not so happy about. So let's start off with the first two players. We have Vitinha, not only one of the most improved players for FIFA 23, he's gone from a silver to a relatively high gold, non-rare, unfortunately, but he's also got a massive 89 potential. So the first set of players we're looking at, 89 potential. That is madness. But Vitinha does look like a very, very good player. He's going to flourish in that PSG side. And it wouldn't surprise me if in a couple of years' time, it comes down a little bit. I reckon he will be kind of like, an 85, 86 rated player at some point in his career. I don't know about 89, though. We haven't seen enough of him. But this man right here, Gavi, he is going to be a superstar. Oh, and they've got Pedri as well. Barcelona, of course, throughout many, many years, decades, have produced some incredible players. And I think Gavi might be right up there. The new Iniesta, the new Xavi, I don't know about that, but 89 potential and a very, very good starting card. I like this. Very, very good start there. We're moving on into midfield again with Camavinga and Gravenberch this time. Now, Camavinga not being in the 80s is a little bit strange to me. I would actually give him an 80, 81 maybe. But EA at least think he will still become one of the best midfielders. 89 potential as well. And of course, Gravenberch got his big move. He's now playing at Bayern. I don't think he's played too many times. Has he been injured? Or is he just not getting into the first team enough? I'm not really sure. I think we all know, though, Gravenberch is going to be a superb player. 79 rated and a massive potential to grow 10 more up to 89. Up next, we have defenders. We've got Trent, 90 potential. Okay, look. Don't get me wrong. Trent, in his position, is probably one of the best attacking wing-backs or right-backs in the world. This stat right here, passing, you could genuinely say 90, I would say. He is one of the best passers of the ball. But this stat right here, no. Anyway, we're talking about potential. They've given him a 90 potential. So EA think he's only going to grow by 3. It's a little bit of a tough one. I think the main problem here isn't the potential. It's actually his rating. I don't actually think, as a right-back, I'd give him an 87. But that's just me. I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't particularly like Liverpool, so maybe there's a bit of bias there. But honestly, he is a ridiculously good footballer. I just don't rate him as a defender that highly. However, I do rate Bastoni very highly. 86 defending as well. Incredible. 90 potential. Very, very good card. Left-footed. Again, I know I like to bring it up. I like left-footed centre-backs. It felt like we went through so long in FIFA career modes where there just wasn't enough left-footed centre-backs with high potential, and now we've got tons of them. We're moving into the top 15 now. We have Tonali and João Felix. Tonali is a ridiculous talent. He really is. Big fan of Tonali. Great pace, passing, defending. I mean, his card is a joke, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. If he had just one more dribbling and one more defending, he'd have 80 in everything except from his shooting. And even his shooting is very, very decent with 73. 90 potential. Yep, can't argue with that. I'd argue maybe 91. João Felix, 84 rated this year as well. Very good card. He's one of the best players in the Spanish league at his age for sure. And also gets a 90 potential. Moving on, we have, for me, one of the best young wingers in world football right now. There aren't many that excite me as much as Leao. There's something about him. You know, as soon as he gets the ball, he's going to do something magic. And I'm not saying he's the most skillful player, but it's the raw pace. It's how strong he is. He's quite tall. He's got a great goal-scoring ability. Truly believe Leao will become one of the best. 90 potential, I would go with that. Not a problem. And then we've got Musiala. Could have played for England, of course. He's gone with Germany, and fair play to him. incredible card. I'm still confused as to why he's a centre mid and not a cam or a left mid. But I have seen he does play at centre mid. I just don't think it's as often as EA maybe think he does. Still, fantastic player, 90 potential. Right, moving on. We're almost into the top 10 now. We have Ansu Fati with a 90 potential and Bellingham with a 91 potential. Incredible. So we're now almost in the top. Well, he's 10th best here, and we're at 91 potential. How scary is that? We've got some incredible young players in world football. Fati is one of them, no doubt. Hopefully he can stay injury-free. And Bellingham, there's no doubt about it, he will be. He already is one of the best midfielders. Even at his age, he's just incredibly good. And so young. It's quite scary, isn't it? Now we're into, I think, one of the most debatable, what's the word I'm looking for? Appearances, I guess. Havertz. Really? 91! Look, don't get me wrong. Havertz is a good player. And he looked like he was going to be a 91 rated player a few years ago at Bayer Leverkusen maybe, but not at Chelsea. Yes, he's scored a Champions League winning goal. Yes, he's had a few good games for Chelsea, but in general, there are players that have come up before this position here, 8th, that have, I think, a way higher ceiling than Havertz. Arsenal fan, again, I may be a little bit biased, but no, I'm not having that. Havertz should not be anywhere near the 90s. I would be more than comfortable with maybe an 87, an 88 potential, because I think he could still get there. He is obviously a very good footballer, but 91, I'm sorry, I'm not having that. But Vlahovic has got a 91 potential as well. Could have been at Arsenal. We would have got Champions League football if we bought him, I think. But he used us. And rightly so, because he got to move to a bigger club, I guess you could say. Juventus, incredible club. And yeah, I mean, they're not doing so well so far this season, but you know Vlahovic is going to be just a stunning player for them for many years to come. We're moving on up now. We have Florian Wirtz. I'm trying to get them in the middle of the screen. I just gave away the next player, the next two players. Wirtz and Donnarumma, both 91 and 92 potential. Incredible. Wirtz is the real deal. I actually think he's better than Havertz, or will be, I mean. I don't think right now he is. He's not a complete player just yet, but what a talent. And of course, Donnarumma, the best young goalkeeper in the world. I think it's difficult to argue otherwise. 92 potential, seems about right. And you guys probably already saw these faces. Up next, we've got Vinicius Jr. and Phil Foden, 5th and 4th, 92 potential. You cannot argue with that. Vinicius and Foden, both incredible players. I don't actually think Foden will get to 92 rated. I mean, we're talking Messi levels and Ronaldo levels. I don't actually see that happening. I just don't think he's got... I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe he can. Maybe he can get there. But someone like Vinicius, there's something about this guy. He's phenomenal, isn't he? He's an absolute baller. He will get to that 90 rating, and it won't take long. I just think with Foden, maybe it would take a little bit longer. I actually truly believe that if you're in the Premier League, it is harder to get to that very, very, very high rating, the low 90s, because it's such a competitive league. And I'm not disrespecting the other leagues, but I swear to you, Vinicius did the same career, but one in La Liga, or maybe one in France, or maybe one in Italy, and then one in the UK in the Premier League, you would get different ratings because it's just so much harder. It's more physical. It's tougher. Maybe people will disagree with me, but yeah, we'll move on, shall we? We're coming into 3rd and 2nd. Unbelievable. 93 potential for Pedri, 94 for Haaland. Woo! Unbelievable. Pedri, I've already mentioned him because we talked about Gavi. Pedri is what Gavi will become in a couple of years' time, maybe sooner. And yes, he is. I mean, he's arguably already the best midfielder in his position at his age. I think Bellingham is somewhat close as an actual central midfielder. And Haaland, I mean, do I need to talk about Haaland? For me, he should be in first place. You guys know who's in first place. I might as well just show you now. It's Mbappe with 95. I mean... I don't have a problem with Mbappe having a 95 potential, because there's no limit to how good he can be, right? He's been blessed with genetics. He's an incredible footballer, right? But Haaland should be the same then, if not more. I'm telling you, Haaland is going to be a better player than Mbappe. Although Mbappe's already won the World Cup and things like that, Haaland's not going to have that opportunity, okay? He's not going to play in a World Cup final, let alone win it. So it's such a tough thing. That's an argument that we've had for years with Messi and Ronaldo. With Messi, it's actually easier than it would be for Haaland to win a World Cup, because Argentina, yeah, Norway, it's a bit of a tricky one, that. But Haaland, for me, as a true number 9 goal scorer, right now, I'd have him higher potential than anyone. Mbappe, he can obviously play on that left side. He's already won so much. You can't really argue with it, but I'm trying. I just think Haaland's the better player. I think he will. He already is, I think, very similar level to Mbappe, maybe better, but he has a higher ceiling. I don't think in 5 years we'll be looking back and going, man, Haaland really didn't get to the best of his ability. You know, he will. He's already very, very, very good. It's going to be an interesting watch between those two. But there you go, guys. That is the top, 22? I think it's 22 players, 21 players. Some incredibly high-rated potentials. And it's exciting, although, again, a reminder, it doesn't mean the players will reach that potential if they're in your team. You, of course, need to give them a lot of minutes. You need to get them goals. They need to be happy. Make sure you keep giving them good contracts and things like that. And it's a culmination of all the 3 green circles, yeah? The morale, the sharpness, the happiness, all of that stuff. You have to really work hard on your players to really maximize their potential. But of course, it helps when they're already ridiculously high rated with a high potential. But let me know your thoughts down below, guys. I love making these videos. I'm going to do... they've released some kind of hidden gems, so I might do that one as well. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.